Hello friends and welcome to our channel. Today's video is about when experts ran tests on this bizarre creature, they uncovered a curious secret in its DNA. But before we start, please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell and smash that like button. We really appreciate your continuous support. People noticed a strange-looking species in one of South America's meandering rivers, hiding beneath muddy waters. This bizarre creature is known for its creepy wide grin as it motionlessly hides, waiting for fish to swim past. The moment one strays too close, the fearsome creature opens its wide mouth and swiftly devours it. Strangely enough, when Europeans first encountered this curious creature during the 18th century, it was considered a source of entertainment and speculation. Its features are unusual. The hard shell and thick, broad covering its body, and the flat face with the creepy smile make it look like a creature from another planet. This reptile doesn't quite like living in outer space, but instead takes the waterways of countries such as Ecuador, Bolivia, and Peru as home. For fish passing by, this creature's body looks very similar to discarded leaves and bark. However, what lies beneath this tactical cover is a ferocious killing machine that can easily and quickly ambush prey, as it sucks unsuspecting fish in before they can think they're being targeted. This fascinating yet frightening creature is called the Matamata Turtle. Scientists in the past believed that it was relatively widespread. However, new research has revealed that many aspects of this weird creature are still a mystery. The Matamata Turtle, being a recent research subject, crops up frequently in articles and internet forums. However, the species' appearance dates back to 1741, when Pierre Barrère, a French naturalist, described its unusual, strange-looking body featuring a gigantic hard shell and abnormally long neck. The Matamata turtle has had several names since it was first discovered. One of them was Tetrastema Freyja by a German naturalist named Johann Gottlob Schneider in 1793. Eventually in 1992, the creature had another name, Chelsis fimbriata, a classification that would stick for nearly 30 years. It wasn't until 2020 that scientists would admit that something was missing. This creature's solid upper shell, or carapace, is without a doubt the most obvious of its features. It is usually distinguished with a brown color and covered in lumps, bumps, and cones. Nonetheless, the algae clinging to the creature gives it further camouflage. Moreover, the plastron beneath is typically pink in juveniles, but it changes to brown or yellow as the species grows up. This attractive species is also characterized by its long neck and wide flat head. Moreover, numerous warts and ridges decorating its shell often inspire amusement in the casual observer. However, don't judge a book by its cover. This creature is, in fact, a highly efficient predator that is well prepared to catch any prey under any circumstances. The Matamata turtle has noticeably small eyes, making it difficult to spot small prey in the muddy waters. Nevertheless, it makes up for this flaw by its remarkable attentive senses, taking, for example, the flaps of skin attached to the reptile's neck and head, which allow it to detect vibrations caused by animals moving nearby. Besides, this creature has a high concentration of nerves on its mouth, chin, and neck, which helps it detect prey. The reptile also has massive ears that make it extremely sensitive to noise. Thus, not seeing the prey doesn't make much an obstacle as long as it can hear it approaching. Although the Matamata turtles are technically considered an aquatic species, they have not adapted to swimming in open water very well. On the contrary, they mostly prefer to blend in with plants in muddy bottoms of slow-moving rivers and streams. According to the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute, Matamata turtles can, when matured, grow to a massive size, as its shells alone can reach up to 1.5 feet and weigh up to 40 pounds. On average, a 3-year-old child is way lighter than this reptile. This species can also exhibit a very unique yet entertaining reproductive behavior. According to the zoo staff's observations, the male begins courtship by opening and closing his jaws in the direction of the female. In an attempt to woo the potential mate, he can also wave the flaps of skin on his head and stretch his back legs out. As a result of the reproductive process, the female lay up to 28 eggs in a land nest. Consequently, hatchlings emerge after an unusually lengthy incubation of around 200 days, the zoo notes. Unlike other types of turtles, the Matamata species is considered very rare. Typically, this creature takes the basins of the Amazon and Orinoco rivers in South America as its home. It can also be found in captivity in many places around the United States, such as the Smithsonian National Zoo in Washington, D.C. The Matamata turtles are carnivorous predators and usually feed on a diet of fish in captivity. However, they also devour some invertebrates in the surrounding area of their habitat. The creature adapts an amazingly powerful technique to lure and surprise its prey. It uses a snorkel-shaped snout to breathe and lurks underwater for the right opportunity to devour the prey. Thanks to its dinosaur-like appearance and puzzling habits, Matamata Turtle is considered one of the world's oddest turtles. Although our planet has plenty of bizarre creatures such as the alligator snapping turtle, only a few can match the Matamata in the weirdness stakes. In the past, the Matamata turtle was in fact a mystery to researchers around the world. German reptile and amphibian expert Dr. Uwe Fritz outlined how the creatures were such difficult and confusing beings to understand in his study field. In April 2020, Fritz said, "Although these turtles are widely known due to their bizarre looks and their unusual feeding behavior, surprisingly little is known about the variability in genetics," he added. "Until now, we assume that there is only one species of this armored reptile that ranges widely across South America." Researchers recently discovered that the Matamata turtle population is relatively healthy and widespread. Besides, some observers had noted physical variations between different specimens of this reptile series. However, this could be something more fascinating than a simple diversity. When it comes to the Matamata turtle, this species' biological diversity is exclusively related to the geographic location. However, recently many questions were raised concerning the reason behind the variation, as researchers suspect it might be genetic. Fritz explained, regarding this matter, several studies have pointed out individual Matamata turtles look differently in the Orinoco River compared to the Amazon basin. Fritz explained, "Based on this observation, we decided to take a closer look at these animals' genetic makeup. Consequently, he launched a thorough study of the mysterious creature with a team from the Senckenberg National History Collections. To look for genetic differences between different specimens, researchers used 75 samples of the creature's DNA. To their surprise, results turned out to be very different from what they had thought. Sure enough, the idea that only one species of this strange reptile exists could be completely wrong." According to recent studies, the Matamata turtles found in South America belong to two different species, Chilis fimbriata, which lives in the Amazon basin, and Chilis orinocensis, which inhabits the more northerly Orinoco watershed. Surprisingly, their location wasn't the only difference. The original Chilis fimbriata species has a dark rectangular-shaped shell. Unlikely, the Chilis orinocensis is characterized by an unpigmented plastron and an oval carapace. According to the Senckenberg Natural History Collections, the Matamata turtles living in South America today can be traced back to the late Miocene period, approximately 13 million years in the past. At that time, the Amazon and Orinoco regions were connected. Apparently, this geographical phenomenon didn't split the land but led to significant diversions of several species. As the Amazon and the Orinoco formed into two separate basins, this creature's ancestors were also divided into two distinct species. However, this diversity hasn't been discovered by biologists who studied these reptiles and was unknown for centuries. Mario Vargas Ramirez, leader of Senckenberg's study, explained, "To date, this species was not considered endangered, based on its widespread distribution." He added, "However, our results show that due to the split into two species, the population size of each species is smaller than previously assumed." Unfortunately, this wasn't the only threat that endangers the future of the Matamata turtles. Every year, thousands of these bizarre-looking animals end up in the illegal animal trade and are confiscated by the authorities. "We must protect these fascinating animals before it's too late," said Vargas Ramirez. As Vargas Ramirez, Fritz, and their colleagues suggested, Further research is needed to gauge the illegal animal trade's impact on this rare creature. For this, they hope that more strategies should be plotted to prevent this type of crime. According to these experts, it is crucial to gather information and to assess the Matamata Turtle's exploitation throughout its distribution range to obtain a better understanding of its conservation status and to design appropriate conservation and management procedures. In July 2020, other researchers from the UK's University of Bristol published their study's findings on genetic variations between different populations of the American crocodile. Their research aimed to learn more about how to conserve this endangered species. French zoologist Georges Cuvier was the first to describe the American crocodile in the early 19th century. Although the creature can be found in several places in America, it has faced many threats over the years. Due to hunting, loss of habitat, and population, its numbers decreased dramatically in many areas during the last few years. In 2007, the American crocodile was classified as threatened by the United States Fish and Wildlife Service. However, the attempts to conserve this animal were not enough, as many continued to cause further damage to their environment. To boost the numbers of the American crocodile species, conservationists had to extensively understand its population's genetic features. To fulfill this goal, the British team at Bristol University studied DNA of the specimens from 7 different countries, which enabled them to identify variations between different regions. These findings were enough for conservationists to tailor a repopulation program with different genetic requirements. Hopefully, this method will prove a success, so it can be used to protect other endangered species in the future, such as the Matamata turtle. Another team of researchers from India, Russia, and the United States announced that they used DNA analysis to identify a new species. One of them is the Tetrastema Freyja, a type of nemertine worm found on a beach called Kovalam in Kerala in India. In July 2020, Dr. Alexey Chernishev told the Indian news outlet Research Matters the genus Tetrastema is a complex species group. He added, "According to our data, tropical seas are inhabited by many nemertine species that remain to be discovered. The new developing science of DNA taxonomy may lead to many more exciting discoveries in the future. After a long journey of studies and experimentations in this field, results are finally coming to fruition." For those interested in conservation, DNA taxonomy developments are the glimpses of hopes and the signs of a bright future in which we can protect those endangered creatures. Similarly, developing a better understanding and knowledge about the Matamata turtles might help them survive to entertain future generations. Thanks for watching. If you liked today's video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and click on that notification bell so you won't miss any new stories.